Some of the green beans or snap beans that I grow are Burpee's Tenderpod, and these are the last seeds I have from 2017 and 2018. So I'm going to plant them out and save the seeds. I'm starting to get some little seedlings. Some of them are very little. This one's not even popped out yet. Oh, he's just starting to pop out. And tonight the temperatures are going to be in the 40s, so I'm not quite sure how these little guys are going to fare, but I am going to cover them up with some freeze cloth or floating row cover. I covered it up with this freeze cloth, but I wasn't able to cover up this short little row. It's about 5 feet long, maybe 6 feet long. This short little row of seedlings. Can you see these? Yes. These little seedlings. I didn't have enough to cover up all of this because I also need to cover up some other beds of green beans in the rest of the garden. So I'm curious to see what will happen to these little seedlings tonight. There's actually 3 nights in a row of 40-ish degree weather predicted. So I'm curious to see what will happen to them. I'm not sure what will happen, but I've done my best. Good luck, seedlings. The beans have now been covered for 4 nights in a row. We had 4 nights where the temperatures were in the 40s. And I may have been overly cautious when I covered these, but I really didn't want them to die. Let's see how they're doing now. They seem fine. Look at that. They're fine. At this point, I have had the beans uncovered for a few days, but now they're predicting 4 more nights in a row of 40-something degree weather, even though today the high is like 81, which is ridiculous. But at this point, I think they're getting to a height where I can give them some fertilizer. And here you can see the row of beans that I have to leave out in the cold because I don't have enough cloth to cover them, and they seem to be doing okay. A few of them are not. This one and this one, for example, are a little bit smaller, but they seem to be doing okay. I might not actually have to cover this when the temperatures get into the 40s. I might be overly cautious. And the fertilizer I'm going to use is 888. I've got a pound of it here, which just happens to fit into a 1-pint Daisy sour cream container. And is that a coincidence? Yeah, it probably is. Probably a coincidence. But 1 pound fits into a 1-pint container. At this point, my little bean patch is still growing well. And there are lots of plants with little white flowers like that. And these are the plants that I had not covered on those nights when it was 40-something degrees. And they seem to be fine. They may be a little bit smaller than the other ones, but they seem to be fine. At this point, the beans have beans, fruits, legumes, these things. Good Lord, these things right here. And oh boy, we could just harvest these and eat them. Oh, they'd be just delicious. Oh my God. But no, that's not what we're doing here. We have to wait. The hardest thing in gardening is to wait. God, there's a lot of weeds in here too. We have to wait until they're big and ugly and old. We're trying to save seeds here, so we're trying to wait. And now at this point, the plants are turning yellow and dying, but that's good. That's good because the fruits are yellow. Pull one off. The fruits are yellow, and you can feel that the seeds are hard, and the walls of the legume, the fruit is called the legume, the walls of the legume are real thin and leathery, and it feels kind of dry. And I don't pick beans by crawling around on my knees and picking every little bean. I just pull up the whole plant, take it inside in the air conditioning, and pull off the beans there. So that's what I'm going to do next. Whole lot of weeds left over at the end. Whoops. Guess I'll take care of those in a bit. And all those buckets of material reduced down to about 1.5 buckets of fruits or legumes. And I need them to dry out, so I'm going to spread them out on this towel. And try to create as much surface area as I can until they dry. So now they've been laying here for days and they're all dry and crunchy. Crunch, 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 crunch. That's the test. That's how you can tell. They're dry and crunchy, which is what we want. And because I have them nicely organized on this towel, I can just roll up the towel. Stick the end of the towel in the bucket. Nope. In hindsight, I should have used a bigger container than this bucket. Now I have to very delicately, gingerly pull out the towel without losing any of my beans. I'm probably going to lose some of my beans. That's okay. And this next part's going to be a little dusty, so I'm going to do it outside. I'm going to take my gloves and I'm going to, let's see here, take the gloves. They go on your hands, gloves do. And I'm simply going to put these up together. Take a little pinch and punch them up best I can. I'm going to do that over and over again until I get all this done. Oh my God, look how many beans. So now I have this all ground up, but the problem now is that I have a mixture of light stuff and heavy stuff. The heavy stuff is the seed that's already been separated, and the light stuff is the parts of the legume, which you'd call the pericarp, the little pieces of pericarp that are they're separated from the seed. And some of the heavy stuff is the pieces of fruit that still have the pericarp and the seed, inside of them. So I need to separate out that light stuff and the heavy stuff, and then I'll take the heavy stuff and grind it up again with my brand new fancy gloves. And I have this fan blowing air across the top of this bucket. I'm going to take my material and pour it slowly into the bucket. And the fan will blow away the light stuff. It's going to take some adjustment. And there is all the light stuff, and there is the heavy stuff. You can see I'm already getting some beans. So now all I need to do is repeat that process of rubbing and grinding and dumping and blowing until it finally looks like this. This is what I've got after cleaning. And it's not perfect, but it's good enough. And the beans sat on that towel for about 2 weeks, so I think they're dry enough. I think they're about as dry as they're going to get. So now I'm just going to put them in a labeled container and put them in the fridge until I use them next spring. And I could put some silica desiccant in here to keep them drier, but I haven't done that in the past and it's been fine. They've worked out fine. So that's me saving my bean seeds. Thanks for watching. Bye.